Good afternoon and thanks for joining us. Premier Scott Moe has returned from China, celebrating a recent tariff deal between Canada and China. Last week, Moe joined Prime Minister Mark Carney in China, resulting in a deal that will see China significantly reduce tariffs on Canadian canola seed and at least temporarily remove tariffs on canola meal in exchange for Ottawa making concessions on Chinese electric vehicle duties. Moe says while this is a positive step for the agriculture industry, he says there's still work to be done.
From an agricultural perspective, this gets us back to where we were a year ago. No more, no less, really. We had slight tariffs on some of our ag products a year ago. We have slight tariffs on some of our ag products here today.
The changes within the Canada-China agreement are expected to take effect by March 1st. A $2,000 reward is being offered for information leading to an arrest after a group of coyotes were killed by snowmobilers, and a warning this contains images that some viewers may find disturbing. According to Sask Tips, 4 coyotes were discovered roughly 11 kilometers east of Lanigan last Sunday. The animals were deliberately pursued and struck by snowmobiles. 2 were found dead. The other 2 were left severely injured, which led to the animals being humanely euthanized on site.
When individuals are perpetrating this kind of violence and cruelty towards wildlife, it has nothing to do with protection of livestock or wildlife management or, availability to, just essentially hunt the species. These are individuals that believe they're above the law.
Nation is asked to contact the provincial turn-in poachers and polluters known as the Tip Line. Last year's wildfires and some significant storms in Saskatchewan proved to be costly. A new report from the Insurance Bureau of Canada details losses from wildfires in the Flin Flon and La Ronge areas cost about $300 million. It notes Denair Beach experienced some of the most significant damage from this group of fires, with hundreds of homes, structures, and vehicles destroyed. It says the Pissou wildfire that impacted the communities of La Ronge, Hall Lake, and Air Ronge, as well as several other smaller communities in early June, caused over $50 million in insured damage. The report shows another $235 million in insured damage was done during a series of severe storms across the prairies in August. In Saskatchewan, Radisson, Langham, and North Battleford were hardest hit by those storms. The Insurance Bureau of Canada says in total, Canada's weather-related insured losses totaled more than $2.4 billion last year. Saskatoon's tourism landscape could be in for a change. A city committee voted to rework its agreement with Discover Saskatoon, the city's tourism group, after it asked for a 95% funding increase this year. Instead, the committee voted to provide 3% increases over the next 4 years, while also adding more money to a special events reserve to help Discover Saskatoon bid on big events like the Briar or music festivals. Some funding is also contingent on Discover Saskatoon meeting certain performance targets.
Discover Saskatoon is the only organization doing this work, and where venues and the city directly benefit from it. No other organization is doing the work that we are doing. If our capacity is reduced, this work does not move somewhere else.
The city is also encouraging reforms to help maximize funding, like amalgamating with SREDA, the Saskatoon Regional Economic Development Authority. Well, Jeff, it was gradual, but it is cold now.
It is cold because it did, we had ourselves, a temperature that was what we'll call, seasonal or a little warmer than that. But yes, we are looking at not only so much what we're dealing with today, John, but as we make our way into tomorrow and the next day in particular, things start to abate next week. But generally speaking, we're in for a real cold spell. The polar vortex is hanging around, and it's impacting areas from the Rocky Mountains right out to Atlantic Canada. So it's not like we're alone in this cold situation. We'll talk about those numbers later on.
The province has signed an MOU with oil industry leaders to remove barriers for oil and gas service drivers traveling to Alberta. In Weyburn, the minister responsible for SGI signed an agreement with the Canadian Association of Energy Contractors, officially amending the driver licensing and suspension regulations in Saskatchewan. Before the agreement, drivers for energy contractors were required to submit medical fitness reports to SGI. Now that the so-called administrative burdens have been removed, drivers will now be able to travel back and forth between Alberta and Saskatchewan more efficiently.
What we're trying to do is really focus on the specialized, customized training that our association provides to drivers within the province of Saskatchewan, harmonizing with the province of Alberta so that when our crews and our equipment move back and forth from both Alberta and Saskatchewan, in particular areas like Lloydminster, where there truly is no border that exists between Alberta and Saskatchewan from a commerce perspective.
By the end of the year, Manitoba is expected to sign a similar agreement with the long-term goal of having drivers work under one set of transportation rules across Western Canada. After the break, nominations are open for the Prince Albert Arts Hall of Fame. Jasmine Peltier gets the details from the chair of the Arts Board.
Joining us is Adriana from the PA Arts Board to talk about how nominations are open or coming up for the Arts Hall of Fame. Okay. Yeah. When did they open and when did they close?
We just opened them. You know, I don't even know the exact date. It was last week. And then they close on March 31st. So people have lots of time to get their nominations in.
What sort of things do people get nominated for? Like when we say arts, what does that kind of encompass?
We have a few different categories. So you can be a visual artist, a performing artist, you can be a performing arts group, you can be some sort of arts council, you can be a builder of the arts, so a volunteer, anything that's arts related that, you know, I'm sure we can find a category to fit people in. The main criteria is just that you have made some sort of meaningful impact in our arts community. Malcolm Jenkins is in there, obviously. He's the builder of the arts, so everybody knows who he is. We've got Linda Monahan. She's a well-known poet. Mitch Holash and Sheila Holash, they're builders of the arts as well. The Prince Albert Children's Choir is in there. They've been around a long time. Prince Albert Community Players. So, yeah, you can see we've got people from all sorts of different branches of the arts that are in there.
How many people get selected each year?
We try to keep it between 3 and 4, just so that the gala event doesn't get too long and we can really spend a good amount of time on each inductee celebrating them the way that we want to.
How is the decision made to decide who should be inducted this year?
Well, we get all our nominations in and then we join together as a board and we review each nomination against certain criteria, rubrics, I guess. And you know, so we take into consideration how long has this person been part of the arts community, what has their impact been, you know, things like that. It's kind of hard to say in words, but yeah, we just sit down and we take a look at all of the information in front of us, and then we decide. And it's really hard to decide sometimes. Like last year, we had a record number of nominations, which so lovely, but you can't you know, induct everybody. So we, you know, some people get rolled over to the next year. So people who weren't inducted last year, some have been like rolled over to be considered this year. So they don't have to get renominated. They're just already on our radar to look at this year.
How does the nomination process work? Like, is it like a community member nominates someone that they know or a group that they know?
Yeah, exactly. So if you're just anybody living in PA or area, you don't even have to live in PA. You can just go to our website, Prince Albert Arts, and find the nomination form, and then you fill it in. And if there's questions there, you answer the questions about the group. If the person you've nominated is chosen, then we get in touch with you and we ask you to provide a little bit more information, ask if you'd be interested in being interviewed, because we make this lovely video for each inductee. Big Drum Media does that for us. They do a great job. And we ask for pictures, things like that. So, yeah, it's a pretty easy process to nominate somebody.
I guess Just for you, what's your favorite thing about working on this, like, I'm going to just say project, because I'm not really sure what else to call it, but working on this project specifically to recognize people in PA who are important to the arts, like, what is your favorite part about that?
Well, I think the arts matter. They're important. I guess that's why I'm the chair of the Arts Board. Arts are a reflection of our world in a beautiful way. You know, even if it's a sad thing, like I'm looking around at John Brady McDonald's work here, and he covers some pretty harsh topics, but you know, he makes it beautiful and vibrant. And I feel like our arts community does that too. They're beautiful and they're vibrant, and they highlight things that, you know, need to be talked about in some way. And I think that we need to spend more time focusing on positives and joyful things. And I also believe in celebrations. So I love the idea of planning an event that's purely for joy and purely for celebrating people that deserve it. So I guess my favorite part of the whole process is the actual gala, which is going to be on September 25th. 2026, where we have the inductees come, all their loved ones, and we celebrate them. It's just such a lovely event. The energy is just beautiful and charming, and it's just so lovely.
Well, yeah, well, thank you for meeting me out here, and that sounds really exciting.
Greetings, everyone. Hoop dancing is an Indigenous tradition that uses dance to tell the stories of nature, share life lessons, and create an interconnectedness with all things. One hoop dancer from Saskatoon is sharing his knowledge and skills with those who visit the Wanuskewin Heritage Museum. CTV's Hallie Mandrick has more.
Lawrence Roy has been hoop dancing since he was 13 years old, and now he's sharing that passion with those who visit the Wanuskewin Heritage Museum.
I have 30 hoops that I dance with, and I come here and I dance for the people, and I give them information about what hoop dancing is, where it comes from, how it was originated, and everything.
It's part of the Wanuskewin dance and music presentations, drop-in programming which offers visitors an opportunity to learn more about Indigenous art forms. Roy's hoop dancing came along with teachings of how his art form is reflective of many things that can be found in nature.
He's telling us at the start, like, oh, you'll see the butterfly, then it'll be a snake, then it'll be a butterfly again, then a bird, eagle, and I was like, yeah, okay, cool. And then sure enough, with the hoops, you see it all. It was really neat. It really gave you a lot of images and a lot to think about.
Roy also gave visitors an opportunity to try their hand at hoop dancing. The dancer says crowds are typically a little hesitant at first. However, a little encouragement goes a long way.
Because they can't really think they can do it, but they can. So I give them the courage and empowerment to know that they can do something that's as difficult as hoop dancing.
Okay, we're going to the left again, because we're a universe. Yeah, true. We're only 4, but yeah. We're strong!
It was harder than I thought. When he was doing it, I was like, wow, it looks like he's pretty good at it, but it can't be that hard. And then when I was doing it, sure enough, it was really cool. Really hard, though. It takes a lot of patience.
For Indigenous Circle, I'm Hallie Mandrick.
If you have a story you would like to see in this segment, here's how to reach us. You can contact me by email, and you can also watch past episodes and segments of Indigenous Circle on our CTV Regina and CTV Saskatoon websites.
Indigenous Circle, brought to you in part by Saskatchewan Indigenous Enterprise Foundation, growing the First Nation entrepreneurial spirit.
A look at weather with Jeff after the break, and one university student's choice to use her disease to help others. So, Jeff, some parts of the world were able to enjoy the northern lights last night, but I think we had a little too much cloud cover in our area, our neck of the woods.
We were dealing with a lot of cloud because those clouds were, I'm not going to say robust, but they were certainly moisture-laden enough that we did get some snow in the area, depending on where you were. Some places up to 4 centimeters of snow. Certainly, we did not go unscathed in our traditional television audience region. But the bottom line is that we're not done with the snow yet. So one system came through and brought with it, as I say, some places 2 to 4 centimeters of snow. A second round is coming in, and these are going to be connected to some very strong winds that are also going to be going through the region. So we're talking about light, fluffy snow, winds. So yes, there could be some issues with visibility. So please check the highway hotline for that kind of a situation. But you can tell you that BC is probably one of the few places in Canada, the coastal part of BC, one of the few places in Canada that's on the warm side, because this polar vortex, as I mentioned earlier on, basically extending from the Rocky Mountains all the way out to Atlantic Canada, and everyone dealing with cold conditions. And it's going to take a while for it to get out of Dodge, as I often like to say. So here's our futurecast. There's the one system that went through, and in behind it, we are going to start to see the winds gap, or the pressure lines gap a little bit, so a little less windy as we get into the afternoon tomorrow. But prior to that, you can see those fairly close lines as that second system rolls through the province. So yes, we've got a snowy, windy situation in the forecast. So we anticipate snow in the Spirit. Well, actually, throughout the region right now, the icons are only showing up for Spiritwood and Rostern, but pretty much widespread snow, a bit more substantive snow in the Spiritwood and Rostern area, not quite as significant a situation for Melfort. Let's take a look at the numbers. Minus 18 for an overnight temperature in Spiritwood, minus 16 in the Battlefords, minus 17 in Candle Lake, Birch Hills, Rostern, and Melfort, minus 16 the expected overnight temperature in Nipawin. Now on to tomorrow. Well, we've got ourselves cloudy skies throughout the region. Minus 16 degrees for Spiritwood, minus 13 for the Battlefords, minus 16 in Candle Lake, Birch Hills, minus 15, ditto that for Rostern, minus 14 in Nipawin, close to seasonal there, and Melfort, minus 16 degrees. For Prince Albert and area, so tonight, 2 to 4 centimeters of snow, windy conditions, minus 17 degrees. And then as we roll into tomorrow, mainly cloudy skies, minus 15, so about 2 or 3 degrees below seasonal. Winds from the northwest, 30, gusting to 50. We'll have stronger winds in other parts of the province, though. Then we get into some real cold conditions. And look at those overnight temperatures. Wednesday into Thursday, 32 on the minus side, minus 28 for a high, and then into the minus 30s overnight and on Thursday and Friday. Saturday, not much relief, and then slowly, and I mean slowly, because minus 18, minus 17, and minus 18 are still below seasonal, but it is not in the minus 20s, and I suspect a lot of people will appreciate that.
And I always say, take a mental snapshot of that, I guess those numbers, and then in about 6 months' time, when they're flipped on the plus side, then you think, hey, remember when it was nice and cool?
Exactly.
There you go. Thanks, Jeff. While the Prairie Junior Hockey League is honoring one of its longtime members and former presidents on Wednesday night, the Saskatoon Quakers and Saskatoon Wesleys will face off at Rodham Arena in honor of Bob Dybvig, who was a PJHL president and passed away this summer. Dybvig spent more than 4 decades volunteering in multiple sports and organizations around Saskatoon as a coach or an administrator. The league's North Division was renamed the Dybvig Division in 2016 to honor his contributions to the league. Dybvig was instrumental in combining the former North Saskatchewan Junior Hockey League with the South Saskatchewan Junior Hockey League to form what's now known as the Prairie Junior Hockey League. The game starts at 8 o'clock. The Husky Football Foundation has announced the special guest for the 24th annual Dogs Breakfast in April. All-star running back and Grey Cup winning coach Mike Pinball Clemens will be the speaker at this year's Dogs Breakfast, one of the largest football fundraisers in the country. The event raises money for scholarships and academic assistance for the University of Saskatchewan Huskies football team. Clemens is known for his personality both on and off the field, moving from the team to the front office of the Toronto Argonauts, where he's currently general manager. Huskies coach Scott Flory says the event is more than about just raising money. The event goes April 30th in Saskatoon.
Do you have a community event you would like to promote? Or maybe you'd like to draw attention to your organization. Let your local CTV station help you spread the word. Contact us at 306-922-6020 or email panews@ctv.ca. You can appear on CTV Prince Albert's News at 5 and get your message to our viewers.
A A university student has taken her celiac disease diagnosis and transformed it into a platform to help others. Stephanie Seacos reports.
Emma McGill is a busy university student, just months away from graduation.
I'm majoring in astrophysics and minoring in anthropology.
On top of school, a job, and keeping up with friends and family, McGill is also an entrepreneur. She created Gluten-free Living.
It's supposed to act as a hub for people with celiac disease and gluten intolerances to find health information, tax resources, just things to help their everyday health and financial life.
McGill was diagnosed with celiac disease when she was 12.
My parents immediately just had to spend thousands of dollars and completely swap my diet.
According to Health Canada, as many as 400,000 Canadians live with celiac disease, a condition that causes adverse reactions and damage to the small intestine whenever gluten is consumed.
It's so much more intense than a lot of people realize, because some people think, oh, you just don't eat that one thing, not that big of a deal, or they treat it as like an allergy or intolerance, but actually it's something that can, even just a crumb can do significant damage to your body.
The idea of McGill's gluten-free living has been in the works for years, and she says she's just getting started.
Pretty soon I'm also looking to talk to restaurant owners about how they can make their spaces more safe for people in the celiac community, so there's less cross-contamination.
Eventually, she hopes to develop gluten-free living into an app.
I'm just kind of in the initial stages of starting to plan out what the app is going to look like. The app is the main business idea. In the meantime, I'm kind of trying to help people in as many ways as I can. So recently I've started with building gluten-free markets. So I've had 2 in the last year.
With more to come this year. Stephanie Seacos, CTV News, Halifax.
All right, Jeff, when in Rome, eat as the Romans eat.
Pizza!
I would take some of that. Well, bakers have teamed up with academia to recreate pan di via. It's a snack eaten by the Roman legionnaires thousands of years ago for energy. It's made of buckwheat flour, sour cherry jam, and honey. It's filling and it keeps, making it the perfect food for soldiers to pack on a campaign far from home. And boy, I don't know, you don't need icing or anything on that. They've got me sold with the sour cherry jam.
Exactly. If you're invading another country, come on, load up.
And I don't think you got time to put all the accoutrements that they got here.
Hey, you Gauls, hold on. I'm having my snack.
I got powdered sugar on my fingers. Give me a moment. I can't get it on the sword.
Vini, vidi, vici, vittles. All right, there you go.